Hey y'all, Shay here. Today we're going to be doing a whip and chat. It stands for work in progress and chat. We're just going to hang out. We normally go for about an hour. So get comfortable, get something to eat, get something to drink. I normally do these in the morning, but this afternoon is how we're doing it today. So I've got some little bit of Costco sparkling water. So hopefully I don't burp during the video. And yeah, it is Wednesday for me, but it is 2:45 in the afternoon. So it is not morning time, it's not coffee time yet. I do have coffee in the afternoon about 3:30, 4 o'clock. So we're kind of in between coffee and water and wine time. So yes, I'm gonna be diamond painting today. So again, it is Wednesday for me / Thursday for y'all if you're watching this the day it comes out. And let me just get a quick little swig before we start. Okay, I have not drank any water today. I've had coffee and Diet Dr. Pepper, so I need to be drinking more water. So I feel a little parched, and that's probably not a good sign. I think that means you're getting dehydrated if you start to feel thirsty. Okay, so let's talk about today's whip and chat and what I'm going to be working on while we chat. Like I said, this is diamond painting, and it was a custom that I had made from Mary's Diamonds. And here's a little image of what it looks like. I've been working on it this entire month. I'm almost done, you guys. I'm on the third to the last square. So I'm gonna be finished. My goal is to be finished by the end of the month. So I've got let's see, today's 26th, so I've got about 3 days left. So 1 square per day, I think I can do it. And I'll go ahead and pop up a little image on the screen the whole time so y'all can see what I'm working on, okay? And we are upside down. So actually, it's not gonna be upside down for you, but it is for me, if that makes sense. I am using a tray from Munimade. It's a 3D printed tray. It's one of her yellow ones. And I'll have all these folks listed down below if you're interested. I'm not sure if Mary's Diamonds, because they're switching ownerships, they've sold their company to Bella or Nicole. So I'm not, and I don't think their website is actually up and running right now, but I'm not sure if they're gonna have these coming back, but if they do, I would definitely recommend it. It's very fun to do. So I got my Munimade tray, and I've got my pen, and it's from Butterfly Effect Wares. It's a captive ring pen. And my single placer, I just have one of the brass tips. I do have micro glue dots in there. And then my multi-placer, I've got a 10 placer, and it's one of the metal ones. It's a rainbow one, and this is from Munimade. And it's got, let's see, Chit, Enabler's Outpost, and Cinnamon Scent. I had to remember what is the latest one I put in there. So I just refilled it recently, and I've got that in there. And then I've got my cutter, of course, to cut back the plastic whenever I'm ready to do another square. Got my purple tweezers from Craftably. I love these. And then all my little goodies are resting in this little tray. This is a resin tray from Lexi Sparkle Craft. And so I'll have her link down below. And this is a little resin trinket tray. And she's gonna be having a drop this Saturday. So definitely go check her out. I just recently did an unboxing of a bunch of these trays. I love them. But I'm not gonna buy any more for a little bit. I'm gonna let everybody have a chance. I actually feel bad. I bought her trays, 1, to support her, 2, I really love them, but I felt like I bought too many, and I left her with nothing left in her shop. And so when anybody else wanted to get anything, there was nothing left. And so I do feel bad about that, and I hope it didn't come across as that I was being greedy or trying to buy too many things from one shop. So I didn't think about it that way, because that was not in my intent. But afterwards, I did my video, and I was like, you know what? I feel really bad because she doesn't have anything in her shop anymore. She will, though, but I think I may have bought too many. So yes, I do apologize for that. Sorry, but not sorry, right? All right, we're just gonna peel this back. It's just like peeling off a piece of skin. It's so satisfying. Y'all, I'm close. Let's see. So I just started working on the square last night. I haven't diamond painted today. So I've got this one, and then I've got this one, and then I've got one more. So 1, 2, 3, and then we're gonna be done with this one. So I'm so excited. This has been a fantastic painting. I've had no complaints. Oh, and also my storage containers are from Harbor Freight. I do enjoy the Harbor Freight containers. So I've got 2 of those going, because there are 29 colors, and you can fit 24 Harbor Freight in one of these containers. And I was using my Buc-ee's cover minder, but I don't really need a cover minder anymore, because this is the last row, and so as soon as I cut them off, I just peel the whole thing off, and I just kind of set it over to the side. And if I don't finish this square during my diamond painting session, I just go ahead and put it back up. I just put that sheet back over it. Okay, I think I'm done with this symbol. It's got these really pretty pink ABs that are all in the pop, kind of the pop of the lettering, the pink outline. So yeah, there's been some really, really fun colors. I didn't add anything or change anything. It came with 1, 2, 3, 4, like 4 ABs, I think. So yeah, I had plenty. I'm trying to decide what I'm gonna do next in May. I always like to start a new painting, you know, the first of the month. I know a lot of us do that. A lot of us are doing events. I'm trying to decide if I'm gonna do an event or not. I'm not sure yet. So yeah, we'll see. Okay, before I get going, here I am going and I didn't even ask y'all, how are you? How's everybody doing? Let me know. Yeah, because I'm just gonna be talking about me and my stuff in my world. But I wanna hear from you guys. Let me know how you are. Let me know what you're currently working on and what you did during this time and just in general how you are, you know? How's it going in your life and your world? So let me know. I need some updates. So, and I of course try to get back to everybody in the comments and I definitely always read them. So thank you for y'all's continued support and for all the love. I'm very excited. I just hit a little baby milestone. I do celebrate every 100. I mean, I celebrate every one that I get, every subscriber that I get. But for every 100, I just take a little screenshot and I just kind of go, woohoo, you know, to myself. I don't say anything to anybody else. I just kind of celebrate and, you know, just feels good. And so, yeah, I just got another 100. So, yep, took a little screenshot. I think it was yesterday. So it's exciting, you guys. The channel's growing. I'm so happy. And I just, you know, wouldn't want to be doing anything else. So it's pretty nice to say that you're happy with what you're doing and, you know, proud of what you're doing. And I definitely am. So thank you all, because I couldn't do it without you. So, yep. Okay, what else? So let's talk about, I'm kind of a little tired today. It's been a long day. I always like to talk about what's currently on my mind and then we kind of do reverse, right? We'll do a little rewind and we'll kind of go back to the beginning of when we talked last. But today, like I said, is Wednesday for me. And my day has gone a little bit differently than I had planned. Originally, I was supposed to hook up with Randy today. You can call me Butter. It's my best friend. And we were gonna, we'd made plans earlier in the week to get together today. She was gonna come over and we were gonna hang out and we were gonna go shopping. And, but yesterday I picked Lou up from school and she was coughing and coughing and coughing. And I felt her head and she felt a little warm. She does have a low-grade fever. So I let her stay home today and I made a doctor's appointment this morning. So we were at the pediatrician's office at 9 o'clock this morning. And if y'all been following the channel for a bit, thank y'all for coming back. And for those of you that are new, I had the crud, not the crud, but I had a cold for, gosh, like a couple of weeks and I could not get rid of it. And so I finally went to the doctor last week and got some antibiotics and I had an ear infection and all that stuff. So they put me on steroids and cough medicine and I had a cough. So then I felt so bad. I felt like just as soon as I started feeling better, she started getting sick. And they tested her for the thing, right? The big thing, the big C. And then they tested her for strep and the flu. So poor girl had to have nose swabbed on both sides, had to have her throat swabbed, which I felt so bad. The nurse that was doing it, I don't know if she was just being thorough or if she was new, but I felt really bad. So Lou did not want the strep test to begin with. She even told me on the way there, she's like, I don't want to do a strep test. I don't mind the other ones on my nose, but I don't like that one because you feel like you're going to gag, right? Because they go way far back there. And so I was like, you'll be fine. We need to find out what it is so we can treat it, with the right medication. So the lady's like, okay, we're going to do a strep test now. And she goes over with Lou with this big old long Q-tip. And I look away because I don't want to be looking. That's gross. And I don't want to make Lou feel any certain way or that I'm staring at her. So I kind of looked away. And so the lady, I hear Lou kind of go, make a noise. And she's like, it's okay, I'll give you a minute. Let me try again. And I was like, what? She got a noise from her like that, but she didn't get enough. So I'm not kidding you. She probably swabbed Lou's throat like 3 or 4 times. And every time she thought she was going to gag. She's like, making that noise. And I was like, and her eyes were watering. And so the lady's like, I'll get you a tissue in a minute. So I got up real quick and grabbed a couple tissues and handed them to Lou. And I just felt so bad for her. Eyes were tearing up. Her nose was running. And the lady's like, okay, I'll be back in about 15 minutes with the results. And Lou was keeping it together. As soon as that door closed, she started crying. Mom, I almost threw up. Why did you have to do it so many times? I'm like, I don't know, honey. I just felt so bad for her. So this poor woman really wanted to be thorough, which ended up being a good thing because come to find out, she tested positive for strep. So unfortunately she has strep throat. Everything else came back negative. So that was good news. The doctor was like, this is actually okay news. This is we can deal with this. This is something we can treat with antibiotics and you'll feel better by Friday. So yeah, my poor girl is sick and I've been, hanging out with her. We've been making clay, like food, little hamburgers, little hot dogs out of clay and cutting out little things and just having some fun trying to keep her busy. She'll get tired and she'll want to rest for a little bit. And so I'll lay down with her because she's, wants to be with me right now. And, but then after a little bit, she's like, I'm bored. Let's go do this. And I'm like, oh gosh. And so it's kind of been up and down all day. We did Uber Eats lunch because it was like pouring rain and I didn't want to leave her by herself. And, because everyone else is at school or my husband's at work. So I was like, well, so we Uber eated McDonald's. So we kind of treated ourselves and we ate McDonald's in my bed. And we're watching some YouTube videos. So we've had a pretty cool day. It's just been, a little off and just trying to, hang out with her and make her feel better. But the medicine they gave her, so we went by the pharmacy to pick it up and she stayed in the car so the drive-through was like 4 cars deep and we were sitting there and it wasn't moving. And I was like, you know what? I bet it'd be a lot faster if I just went in. So I'm like, stay here. I'll be right back. She's 10, right? So she can be in the car for a few minutes. And I ran in and they know me there. That's where I get all my medications. And so they were like, oh, Mrs. Giesker, you don't have anything. I'm like, it's actually for my daughter. And they're like, oh, okay. So they added the water to it because they gave her amoxicillin and it's the bubblegum flavor. And they gave us 3 bottles and she has to take like 12 milliliters like twice a day. So it's quite a bit for 10 days. And you have to keep refrigerated. So got home and she doesn't like to take medicine. So that was fun. There was a big ordeal, as far as trying to get her that first dose because the doctor said if she gets this first dose by like 11 a.m., then that's what we want. That way you can get another dose in tonight. So, we were trying to, get, and of course when I got to the pharmacy, it wasn't ready. So, which is fine. It only been a little while but we really need to get her that first dose. So she seems to be feeling a little better. She just has a really, really bad cough and it's like it's that barking seal cough that just, and it hurts. It hurts to hear it, and I know it hurts her. She's like, Mom, it hurts. Help me. I'm like, honey, there's nothing I can do. And I just kind of hold her, while she's coughing. We did do the last night. She slept because my husband's out of town working, and so she slept in our bed. And I had the air purifier or humidifier. Yeah, the humidifier. I filled it up with water, and I had that next to her bed. So hopefully that would help her in the middle of the night. But I heard her cough a few times, but I think she got to sleep in pretty good. So yeah, so that's what happened today. Yeah, my baby girl's sick, so that's a bummer. At least she was able to do her STAR test. So in Texas, we have something called a STAR test, and it stands for like Standard Texas Aptitude something. It's STAAR, I think it is. 2 A's or 2 R's. But it's a standardized test that the kids have to pass in order to move on to the next grade. Can't stand it. A lot of parents do not like this test. A lot of kids are not good test takers. I'm one of them. I definitely was not a good test taker. And I struggled too in school, and I almost didn't graduate because of this stupid, back then it was called the TOS test, I think it was. They renamed it. Not that that made it any better, but yeah, it puts a lot of pressure on the kids. And she has 2 of them to do. She has a reading and she has another one. So her first one was on Monday. Well, she kind of started feeling bad and saying her throat was a little sore, and I was like, oh hell no, you can't miss this test, it's important. And if you do miss it, they do have a makeup day. But what I think happens is if you do it the first time around and you don't do very well, then that makeup one is an opportunity for you to take it again, right? But if you miss it the first time around, then I think that makeup one maybe is like your only chance. And I thought, oh, I don't want to do that to her. So so she at least she made it through that Texas test, the aptitude test, the test they have to do. So that was good. The pediatrician even asked, she goes, you don't have STAR test today, do you? Because that's all we're all talking about. And Lou's like, no, I had it on Monday, and then she has another one on Tuesday of next week. So this strep throat kind of came right in the middle of both. So that was today. So let's rewind. let's go back to, let's see. Last time we talked was probably, I think it was Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday of last week I did the video. And can't think of anything else that happened on Wednesday after we talked. Thursday night, my husband got home. You know, he drives during the week out of town, and then he comes home, you know, at the end of the week. So we get to spend the weekends together, which is nice. So he got home Thursday night, and, you know, we were just kind of catching up and hanging out. And then Friday, the kids had school, so everybody went to school. And again, we just kind of were, you know, putzing around the house, doing some stuff. And we had decided, so I think I told you all about this, that Lou got a new bed about, I think it's been about a month now, I guess. Well, I needed to sell her old bed. And I kept putting it off and putting it off. And I was like, okay, this weekend I'll sell her old bed. Because, you know, you got to take pictures. And we had already taken it apart, and it was underneath her new bed. So I was like, I got to get rid of this thing. Plus, it's, you know, maybe a little bit of extra money if we can sell it. I wasn't expecting much because, you know, it's like garage sale prices. But I was going to use Facebook Marketplace. So yeah, that was fun. I'll have to tell you all the story about that this weekend. If you were on my live on Sunday, I did talk about it a little bit because I was right in the midst of dealing with it. But, and if you don't know, I do go live on Sundays, small little plug. I go live Sundays at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. So please join me. It's always a lot of fun. It's like a Sunday family dinner. We just kind of hang out and joke around and just shoot the shit and talk about whatever comes up. They're always a lot of fun. I look forward to them all week. I really do. It's like our time to just catch up. Let's see, I'm gonna grab a drink real quick. Hopefully y'all don't hear me chugging or swallowing, or hopefully you don't hear the bubbles. So Friday, Lou comes home from school and I pick her up. She comes home, and about 8 o'clock, she's talking to one of her friends. And she's like, Mom, can so-so spend the night? And I was like, no. Because if y'all remember, last weekend, we had 2 girls spend the night, and that was one of the girls. And I was like, why not her house? She just spent the night over here last weekend. She's like, I don't know. We can ask. I'm like, yeah, why do y'all default to here? You know, ask. So sure enough, the mom said yes. I've never met this mom before. I'll tell you about that. So yeah. Now, what I do know about this mom is I've noticed in the afternoons at pickup, whenever this little girl gets picked up, it was an elderly lady, like an older lady. And so one time when the little girl got dropped off by this lady and she just kind of drove off, she didn't come up and say hi or anything. The little girl came in and I said, oh, is that your grandma that dropped you off? And she's like, no, that's not my grandma. That's and I'm like, oh gosh, please. Did I just put my foot in my mouth? Is that her mother? And I was like, no, she's like a nanny or like a babysitter. We call her our house manager. I say, what? Okay. Oh, okay. That's a thing? All right. So, yeah. So they had that. And I was like, okay. So that's like my first interactions with, you know, this family. And I was like, okay. So they're going to go spend the night over there. And hold on. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, I had to pause real quick. Lou came in here. And let's see. So that was my first interaction. I'm like, okay. And then when the little girl had got dropped off last weekend for the sleepover, it was just the dad. So the parents are divorced, and the dad didn't come up to the door. He just kind of dropped off and, you know, drove off. And I was like, okay. So yeah. So I could tell I kind of had met the mother or father yet, and I didn't know what was going on. So Lou said she could spend the night over there, and she's like, can you bring me? I was like, sure. She's like, oh, I get to meet her mom for the first time. And I'm like, oh yeah, me too. And going over there, and I do remember one other interaction that we had. One of the times when the little girl was over here for a play date, she was wanting to stay longer. And she was texting her mom, and I guess the mom was asking for my number, and I'd given it to the little girl. And then, I don't know, something was going on and then I guess the mom had tried to text me. Well, I never got a text. And I told that to the girl. And then she went back and told her mom, and then all of a sudden it's like, I'm leaving now. My mom just said she was going to come get me. She was tired of going back and forth. So the mother sounds like, you know, yeah. It's like, okay. She got so frustrated. She just said, forget it. And like, I'm not doing this anymore. And just kind of let it, you know, yeah, came and picked her up real quick. And I never met her. So anyways, so I'm like, okay, I want to meet this mom. So go over there, and I kind of trying to figure out what to do. And Lou has a blanket, pillow, and like a ton of stuff. So she needs help carrying it up. I didn't necessarily, yes, I want to see where she's going to be spending the night, and I would like to meet the mother, but it wasn't like I have to, you know, it just was like, that'd be nice. And so, with the little girl's actually sitting on the porch waiting for Lou. And she sees us pulled up. I miss him. She sees us pull up, and she's like, hello, Lauren. I'm like, Lou, do you need some help? She's like, yeah, can you help me carry my stuff? And so, oh my gosh. Okay, that was another interruption. I don't know, y'all. I don't know if we're going to be able to get this whip and chat done today. So Lou came in here again to tell me something. And then as we're talking, my husband calls. I'm like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. If she comes in here again, I'm going to lose my ever-living mind. So I was giving my husband the update about how she has strep throat because I hadn't had a chance to talk to him today. Yes, you guys. Anyways, where were we? I think I was telling you the story about the mom. So we pull up, the little girl's there. So I feel like I have to help Lou, carrying her stuff because she has so much. And then the little girl's kind of looking at me and I'm looking at her and I'm like, so is your mom home? And she's like, yeah, let me see if she wants to meet you. Okay. So she runs in the house, Mom, do you want to meet Lauren's mom? And I thought, if she says no, this is going to be really, really awkward. But of course she's like, sure, or yes, or something. So she meets me at the door and she was, I didn't get the warm and fuzzies from her. I mean, I just didn't, I don't know. She seemed like I was bothering her and she seemed kind of annoyed and she couldn't wait for me to leave. But I do like her style as far as having boundaries because I don't when it comes to like sleepovers. The parents drop off their kids and there's no talk of like what time the next day. We just leave it open-ended and then the kid ends up staying, the whole next day, all day long. So it's like, and then they've already come like at noon the day before. So it's like a full 24 hours. Well, this mom was smart. So I need to take a page out of her book. She was like, so what time are you picking her up in the morning? And I was like, there was no like, small chit chat. It was just like right to the point. And I was like, well, we don't have anything going on tomorrow. What time's good for you? And she's like, is 11 good? Like when you get up and get going, just come on over. And I was like, okay. So, I mean, here I wasn't dropping my kid off. It was after 8. It was like almost 9. And here she was going to be, I was like, wow, lady, you are good. She never really had to feed Lou, which we always seem to have to feed everybody multiple times. And as soon as I picked up Lou the next day, which she said she had a really good time. She said it was fun. And I picked her up and she's like, well, first of all, I got there 11, right? Because I don't have the mom's number. So I just was contacting Lou and I was like, about 10 o'clock, I'm like, okay, I'm coming to pick you up in an hour. Is that still good? Because I can see it now. She was going to want to stay longer. Well, I pull up right at 11 and I'm texting Lou because I didn't want to be late because I didn't want that mom yelling at me. She seems like she'll mess around. So her and her house manager, I was like, okay, so I was, I got there, pulled up, and I was texting Lou because I didn't really want to go to the door. I'm kind of afraid of this lady. Y'all, so bad. I'm such a chicken. So Lou finally calls me. She calls me right back. Mom, don't come yet. We're going to go swimming real quick. And I was like, I'm out front. Now, this girl lives really, really close to our house. She goes, can you come back in like 15 minutes? Sure. So I go back home, sit down. She calls me about 15 minutes later. Okay, we're done. She's like wet hair and okay. So I came by, picked her up. She came out. I never saw the mom again. But yeah, she had a good time. So I'm I dime painted quite a bit Friday night whenever Lou was gone. I do remember that. I kind of was just like up here and just dime painting away. Yeah. So that was good. I got a lot done on this. Listened to some lives, super fun. And let's see, so that was Friday. And then Saturday, Ryan was going to get a haircut. He had me make an appointment for him. And he's been tossing around the idea of cutting it short. And for those of you that have seen him before, he did a live with me before. He's got really, really long hair. I mean, really long hair. It's beautiful. Really, really pretty curls. But he thinks it's time. And I was like, yes, I think it's time. So I went with him to get his haircut. And that was about, let's see, after I picked up Lou, we went, I think his appointment was like at 1. So went and took him to do that. And I was like, okay, are you going to go short? And he showed me a picture. He's like, because I told him, I said, it'd be helpful if you had some pictures to show him if there is a new style that you want. And he saw a picture and he found it and he had it on his phone and it looked really good. I was like, okay, I like that style. Sure enough, he comes out, he looks so different. He got it cut. It's not super, super short, but the sides are short. He still has some curls on top, but the sides are short, and then so is the back, but it's kind of tapered, right? I don't want to say it looks like a mullet because it's not a mullet, but it's like a really, really short mullet, sort of. But it looks really good on him. And then so he looks different. He's got braces, he's got his hair cut. So when my mom and dad come for his graduation in a few weeks, he's gonna look really different, you know, because they haven't seen him in a while. So yeah, so he's he looked good, getting all gussied up. The place he goes to is called the Boardroom, and it's like a place just for men. And so it was like a stodgy, like smelled like cigar smoke, and they had like beer, and it was like it's all like dark wood. I'm like, why are we? And the first time he went, this is only the second time he's been to this place. First time he went without me because I couldn't go. I was doing something with Lou, and he really wanted me to go, and I was like, you're fine. You're a big boy. You can handle this. Here's my credit card. Go get a haircut. And so I had never been there, and so he said he liked the place and he wanted to go back. So I kind of wanted to check it out. It was interesting, and they had these big plush leather chairs. I almost fell asleep because I didn't sleep good the night before. I don't know why. I think I stayed up late and I just couldn't sleep. So I was sitting in these chairs and I was on my phone, and it took him about 30 minutes to do his hair, and I kind of was like dozing off a little bit because they were super comfy. And then they had like these this big TVs, of course playing sports, but it was all like man stuff, you know? Yeah. So I'm not sure about that place. It's kind of expensive. I'm like, why can't you just go to like Sports Clips or like, you know, go to a guy place, but go to like, you know, a little more affordable, maybe more your age. I don't know. I mean, I did see some dads coming in there with their kids, but it was mainly like dads and like older guys. So, but it's all ladies that work there, you know, and he got the whole shampoo and conditioner, the whole treatment, the head massage, and I think the whole deal. I don't know. I'm just glad he gets a haircut. Ooh, speaking of, that reminds me, Nate actually asked me this morning, my 16-year-old, he's got super curly long hair too. And he asked me this morning for a haircut. He's like, Mom, can you book a haircut for me? And I was like, yeah, and I totally forgot with all of Lou's stuff today. I forgot to book a haircut for him this afternoon. He goes to a place called Floyd's. It's just a barbershop, but they're normally pretty busy. But even if you have an appointment, you still have to wait. So, but yeah, I kind of forgot to do that for him today. Oopsies. And he gets home in about an hour from school. So maybe I'll just call up there after I get done with you, and go up there and just give him a little ring and see if he can run up there when school gets out. So yeah, what else, you guys? So Saturday night was prom for Ryan. He did not go. I know I talked about that before. I think my last book and chat that last week that, you know, I was afraid he was going to tell me at the last minute. Well, it kind of ended up backfiring, and it kind of made me feel bad. I was doing it to myself mainly, but you know, he had made some plans to do some after party stuff, and he was going to be staying at a house that somebody had rented, and it was like an hour away, and you know, all these things. So I needed to talk to, you know, his dad about it and make sure he was cool with him doing all that. And it was going to cost like $100 to chip in for his part of the house. And anyways, so my husband did not realize that prom was on Saturday. So whenever, you know, Ryan came up and we were going to talk about his plans and Saturday afternoon, I told my husband, like, you know, today's prom, but he's not going. And my husband's like, what? He's not going. Why isn't he going? Why is he missing that? And I was like, and I thought I said, I asked him a couple different times, but I didn't want to push it. But after Ryan walked away, my husband's like, I would have pushed it a little bit more. That's something he should have gone to. And I was like, really? Make me feel like, I know he didn't mean to make me feel bad, but I was like, oh shit. And then I talked to Ryan about it like that night when he was kind of waiting for them to be done. And I said, are you bummed out that you didn't go? And he's like, well, kind of. He's like, I didn't know what it was. I was like, oh my God. Yeah, there's just no, you know, you're darned if you do and you're darned if you don't. I mean, I don't even know. I'm just like, really? So that was kind of shitty. Yeah, I felt like an awful mom because I didn't push it, but I thought, you know, maybe it's not for him. He didn't seem interested at all. And so he's like, I went to homecoming and I didn't like the dance part. I thought it was super boring. So I just, you know, I didn't push it anymore, but maybe I should have. So yeah, that happened. And here I was just feeling so bad and so awful. So I still feel bad. I'm sure over time it will get better, but I think I'll always remember that he missed his senior prom, and maybe it was because of me, because I didn't push it enough. Yeah. So I feel like it's kind of my fault. But anyways, you know, but at the same time, I kind of go back and forth. I'm like, I start to feel bad, and I'm like, but wait, you know, he's 18. You know, he should be able to talk to his friends. He should be able to come up with it. Does he want to go? And if he does, he needs to tell me. And I can't, you know, I handhold him so much with everything else, but it's like, you know, I thought he could handle this one thing and be able to tell me what he wanted to do. And I was going to do what he wanted and not make it a big deal. So that's what I did. And now I kind of feel bad that I didn't, you know, make it a bigger deal and make him go. So yeah. So that was kind of shitty on Saturday. But anyways, what are you going to do? You know, it is what it is at this point. It's over. So he went to the after party. It was like I said, they stayed at this house. He came home the next day about noon, and he was extremely, extremely tired, of course, right? I doubt they slept. He also has like scratches. He's got like scrape marks on his elbow. He said they were playing volleyball out in the backyard of his house, and he fell. He went to like do a shot, and he like skid on the grass and scraped up his elbow and his wrist. So he's kind of beat up a little bit. And of course I asked the question, you know, was there drinking? And he's like, no. And I'm like, come on, tell me the truth. Come on, senior prom. He's like, no, it was actually really boring. He goes, it probably would have been better if there was alcohol. I was like, oh my gosh. So I think I believe him. He goes, Mom, there was parents there. And I'm like, hey, you tell me about stories, and you tell me about parents that allow things that I don't allow. Who knows? I was just asking, you know, I was just trying to get the scoop of exactly what went down. But according to him, there was no drinking. So yeah, that's the story he's sticking to, and that's fine. All I know is he seemed fine. He just was, like I said, very, very tired the next day, and just kind of, you know, kept falling asleep throughout the day. I would check on him, and he'd be like, I'm good. And I was like, I'd catch him like dozing off in his bed in his room when I thought he was like gaming with friends or something. He was sleeping. But so that was Saturday. Lou went to a birthday party. I dropped her off. It was a Super Mario's, it was a boy's birthday party to go see Super Mario Brothers. So she went and did that, and she had a really good time. And I left out. I dropped her off, and I thought the pickup time was right during my live, and I thought, and my husband was gonna have to go get her, and he didn't mind. He was like, yeah, I'll go pick her up. But whenever I dropped her off, I found out that one of our neighbors, the little girl who lives in our neighborhood, she was at the party too. And I know her dad, her mom and dad, and so I was talking to the dad on the way in. He goes, I can pick Lauren up, you know, I can pick Lou up after the party so you don't have to come back. And I'm like, okay, awesome. I'm like, I'll let my husband know. I appreciate that. So so she was able to get a ride home. She said she really liked the movie, and she's not a movie kid. So the fact that she liked it, I think that was cool. So, yep, it got the thumbs up from her. So she got to eat there. And of course, as soon as she comes home from the party, just like as soon as she came home from the sleepover, it was, I'm hungry. I want food. I'm hungry. I was like, girl, you're always hungry. So yeah, I had to stop and get food. The day after the sleepover, the day I picked her up, I had to go get food. But so she went to the birthday party, and then Saturday night, everyone was just kind of worn out from, you know, doing all the things the night before. And so yeah, it was pretty low key. And then Sunday, the live. But yeah, let me tell y'all. So I was trying to sell Lou's old bed. And there are some scammers, you guys, on Facebook Marketplace. Be careful. And like I said, I talked about this during my live, but I was dealing with this one person, and he was all like, you know, yeah, I want it. I'll pay you. And this is sight unseen, right? He said he was going to come get it that afternoon, and he wasn't trying to haggle on price, which I thought was also kind of weird. You know, normally if someone wants to get it for a little bit cheaper, they're serious about it. And this guy never did that. So, and I just had a weird feeling. And so sure enough, he was asking me for, he said he was going to Zelle me the money. And I was like, okay, here's my Zelle. So he says he sends it to me, and then I never got anything, right? Of course. And then he's like, well, I sent it to you. Let me send you a picture of the confirmation. Well, it was fake. You could totally tell it wasn't from Zelle. He had someone had made this and had I don't even know how they made it, but yeah, it was showing that he had deposited. And I'm like, hell no. I was like, I did not get it. And I thought, is this going to be one of those situations where he's going to try to say he paid I'll give you the bed for free. I don't care. I mean, I'm not going to go down, for all this. I'm like, if you want the bed that bad, you can have it. So finally, after about an hour of going back and forth with this guy, I'm like, I did not get anything. I'm like, you know what? I started getting my spidey senses started tingling, and I'm like, something's off with this. His profile was kind of strange. So I was like, okay, I need to listen to my gut. And I finally was like, you know what? I'm just going to move on to the next person that's interested, because this is just getting too hard and too confusing. And then he just stopped talking to me. And so I blocked him, deleted everything. And I was like, oh. So I kept checking my account, because I thought, what if he can access my account for something? I don't know how he would have, but yeah, it's so scary and sketchy, some of the people in there. I've sold and I've bought many things on Facebook Marketplace. And the only problem I've ever had, I've never really had any scammers. I've just had people that are flaky, say that they want it and then they don't show up and they change their minds, or, all that kind of stuff. And so you go through that a lot. So that's basically what happened. Finally had a lady said that she wanted it and said she was going to pick it up. So right at that time, when it was time for her to pick it up, she sends me a message saying, oh, never mind, we're going to pass. And I was like, oh. So I had to go back to all those other people that said they were interested, but I did tell them it's pending pickup, and I said, I'll let you know if it falls through. So at least I follow up with people and I let them know what's going on. So I went back to all these other people, dealing with all that again. Everybody asked me tons of questions, even though I had all the pictures on the website and all the information. It's a lot of work. At this point, you're just like, you know what? I'm just going to give this bed away. Let's just donate it. But the good thing is, this first lady that was going to pick it up that flaked out on me, I had the bed and the nightstand posted for $200, because it's Pottery Barn Kids, so it wasn't cheap. And she asked me if I would take 150, and I said, how about 175? She's like, deal. So I thought I was going to be selling it for 175. Well, finally I got this chick. She seemed super sweet. She seemed legit. She told me that she wanted it, and this was Sunday night. And she said, but I live about 45 minutes from you. Can you hold it for me? And I'll come pick it up on Friday. And this was on Monday, right? And I was like, this was Sunday night. And I thought, here we go again. I mean, I could lose out on a sale here, holding it for this person for a week, and then they don't show, right? And they change their mind. So all I did was ask her, I said, I'll hold it for you, but can you pay for half? Well, then she said to me, sorry, but we've been dealing with some scammers. I'm like, I totally get it. You can't trust anybody on there. She's like, I hate to do that, and then it not be a real sale. I'm like, I get it. That's fine. I just didn't want to hold it for you. And she's like, you know what? Maybe we can my husband can come pick it up tomorrow. I was like, all right. He actually came. The husband came. Monday night, he came after work, got $200 for it. So it ended up working out, Yeah, he handed me $200 cash. I'm like, whew, okay. We helped him load it in. Super nice guy. His little girl is outgrowing her crib. And that's what happened. That's why we got it for Lou. And we're like, we've had this for 8 years, So it's so fun to see it go to another family, and to see it, go to another little girl. And Lou was here, and she was like, bye, bed. And the dad was like, yeah, it's going to go to my daughter. So it was really, really sweet. But yeah, she's now, and then of course Lou was like, well, do I get half of the money? I was like, what? Oh no, she wanted all the money. That's what it was. All the money. And I'm like, and then her and my husband, of course, were going back and forth. He's like, did you buy the bed? She's like, it was my bed. So she's trying to get the money out of us. I told her I might give her a little bit, but yeah. But she liked that $100 bill. She's like, I'll just take one of these hundreds. I'm like, no, you won't, girl. You're not walking around with a $100 bill. I'm like, you got $20 in one of your Easter eggs that you couldn't even find. I'm like, I'm not giving you $20. No, that's not going to happen. Nope. Yeah, so finally got that bed sold, y'all, and the nightstand. So yeah, so that was, it was all good. It was all worth it in the end. It's just, if y'all have ever sold anything on there, you know what I'm talking about. It's just, it can be a lot. And I know some of y'all were commenting on my live that watched the replay, and you were saying that there's also a lot of people won't even give people their address, which is smart. And they'll actually meet in a public place, or they've got, stations like police stations you can go to for meetups. This is smart. Yeah, it's smart. So the bed's gone. So that was Monday, sold the bed. Tuesday I had a dentist appointment in the morning, so that was fun. It was just a cleaning. Didn't have any cavities, so all was good. Just scheduled my next appointment, so I didn't have to schedule any, fillings or things, so that was good. Just in and out. They did do fluoride, so I couldn't eat or drink for 30 minutes, and that kind of sucked. Once you know you can't, you're like, I'm so thirsty, I'm so hungry. So you only have to wait 30 minutes, but you think you're gonna die, right? That's the way I felt. And that was Tuesday, and then of course today, boom, here we are. And Lou is sick. And I was supposed to hang out with Randy today, but that's okay. Randy was super sweet. She understood. She was like, I hope Lou feels better. I'm sorry she's sick. So we're gonna try to get together next week. Yeah. But the last thing I wanted to do was, get Randy sick, because she just got over being sick, and I was sick. I just don't want to do that, because Lou was like, why can't Randy still come over even though I'm here? I'm like, girl, you're sick. We don't want to get her any germs, yeah, it's strep throat. The doctor did say it's passed on through like your hands. So she just told Lou to like wash her hands a lot, especially at home. So like, no one else gets it. So y'all, I need to keep my fingers crossed, toes crossed, that she doesn't get any of us sick again. Yeah, you know how kids are. They're just little germ carriers. They really are. All right, y'all, that's gonna do it. This might be a shorter whip and chat. I know I've had to pause a couple of times. I'm not sure where I'm ending off at, but like I said, I'm just kind of feeling a little, it's rainy outside. It's yucky. It's just one of those days, I've been in the house all day, mainly with her, and I'm just kind of feeling, I'm not feeling myself. I mean, I'm good. I'm just, having kind of a blah day, which happens. And I ate McDonald's, and that probably did not help. Quarter pounder with cheese and fries sitting in my belly. I was like, oh my goodness. And of course, Lou just asked me, what's for dinner? That's one of the questions she wanted to know. I'm like, I don't know. I haven't gotten that far yet. I'm still working off my lunch. So we'll see. I got to figure out dinner now. With the hubby being out of town during the week, though, a lot of times I don't have to make, big elaborate dinners for everybody. It's kind of nice. I just make the kids something or pick up something. So, yeah. All right. Well, hopefully you guys got some work done. I'm getting there. I'm getting there on this square. I've got a little bit, there's quite a bit of color blocking. All this blue between the letters is all the same symbol, and all this yellow is all the same. So I'll just multi-place the rest of this H and this T and this part of this A. So yeah. Okay, so hopefully y'all are able to get some work done, or do whatever you were working on during this time. It's so good to hang out with you guys. I love catching up. Sorry I wasn't in the best of spirits today. I'm kind of, like I said, but I'm here. We're here. We're okay. We're doing it. Yep. And let's see, coming up, I got some more Temu stuff coming. So there'll be another Temu video. I've got some more unboxings I need to do from new to me companies that I've never unboxed before. I've got those sitting next to me. And then, I will go live this unless something changes. But yeah, I don't have anything going on this weekend. So come join me on the live, okay? If y'all don't have anything going on Sunday, if you want to hang out with us, just come on over, okay? All right, I'm going to end it here. And if y'all enjoyed this, please give me a thumbs up. They really do help. And if you have not subscribed, I would love to have you. Just click on that subscribe button down below. It's free. And if you're returning, thanks again for already subscribing. Really do appreciate you guys. And click that notification bell too if you're new to subscribing. And that way you'll get notified whenever I post up any new videos. All right, you guys. Love you so much. And take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay. Bye, guys.